Have you ever just felt a little different? Like you're tuned into a slightly different frequency than everyone else around you? If you've ever felt like your mind is a few steps ahead, but you're somehow socially a step behind, then yeah, you're in the right place. We're going to get into exactly why that is.
Okay, so let's just dive right in. We are going to talk about intelligence today, but probably not in the way you're used to thinking about it.
Because right off the bat, we're not talking about IQ scores. We're not talking about your grades in school or how many trophies you have on a shelf. For the next few minutes, let's just push all of that external stuff to the side.
What we're really getting into is the internal experience of it, what it actually feels like to have a mind that just processes the world in this super high-resolution way. You're the one who always sees the complex machinery working behind the simple picture.
And this brings us to the core, kind of counterintuitive idea we're going to unpack. See, nobody really tells you this, but being highly intelligent, it isn't always a superpower. In fact, sometimes it can be profoundly isolating and bring a whole set of challenges nobody ever talks about.
So, what's the first major sign of this different kind of smart? Well, it really boils down to what your mind is hungry for, and that thing is depth.
Does this just hit you right where you live? It's not that you're antisocial or anything. It's more like your brain has a genuine allergy to a very specific kind of interaction. Small talk.
Oh, you know the ones I'm talking about. The endless chat about the weather, the office gossip, the surface-level updates that don't really say anything. The same recycled opinions you've heard 1,000 times. It's not just boring, it's physically draining. And this is where that friction really comes from. While it seems like a lot of people are perfectly happy connecting over trivial little details, your brain is just starving for more. It wants to get to the why of things. It's constantly scanning for the underlying patterns, trying to connect the dots to find some kind of deeper meaning.
Just think about it for a second. Honestly, when was the last time you walked away from a conversation feeling genuinely energized and lit up, instead of feeling like your battery's just been completely drained? It's a really telling question, isn't it?
Now, this constant craving for depth leads us right into the next big thing, what I call the communication gap. And it's a huge reason for social misunderstandings. Funnily enough, it's not about what you say, it's about your silence.
I mean, just look at what's going on inside your head before you even open your mouth. It's not empty space. You're running a full-blown simulation. You're analyzing every angle, considering the consequences of your words, trying to anticipate how someone might interpret it, all in a split second, just to make sure you're being clear.
But here's the problem. Real-time conversations move way faster than this deep dive analysis can. So you pause. And that pause, that moment of silence, gets completely misread as you being cold or distant or maybe just awkward, when in reality, your brain is just running at a higher resolution.
And this feeling of being constantly misunderstood, it goes way beyond just a pause in conversation. It really points to a fundamental mismatch. It's like your analytical mind is an operating system that just wasn't designed for the unwritten and often totally illogical rules of social interaction.
Yeah, having a highly analytical brain doesn't automatically make you a social genius. You might miss subtle nonverbal cues because you're focused on the words, or maybe you over-explain things because you value precision, and we have all been there. You say something that is 100% technically correct, but completely wrong for the moment. Your default setting is just accuracy, not always harmony.
So, of course, this makes building relationships feel, well, complicated. It's not that you can't make friends, it's that you have this incredibly high internal filter. You're not just looking to collect acquaintances, you're searching for a deep, genuine compatibility.
And here's the really tough paradox in all of this. You value quality over quantity, which is a wonderful thing. But because those deep, meaningful connections are so rare, that constant search for quality can sometimes feel an awful lot like loneliness.
But the challenges aren't just external, are they? Let's turn inward for a second, because a fast-moving mind generates its own kind of pressure, a relentless internal restlessness. It's the sheer weight of the gift itself.
You know this feeling. The second you grasp a new concept, you're done with it. You've lost interest. Routine tasks, repetitive jobs, predictable conversations, all of it can feel like being stuck in a mental cage. Your brain needs novelty. It needs complexity. And when it doesn't get it, you just feel agitated.
And then you've got the pressure. When people label you the smart one, that label starts to become your whole identity. The expectations from others and from yourself are just immense. This is exactly where perfectionism digs its roots in. And when your entire identity is built around being the capable one, failure doesn't just feel like a setback,
It feels like a total identity collapse. Okay, so we've laid out all these challenges, and it might sound a little bleak, but I want to end this by offering a really powerful reframe, because this whole experience, it's not about being broken. It's just about thinking differently.
Look, the hidden costs are real. We've seen them. The isolation, the perfectionism, that crushing self-pressure, the social friction, the endless existential overthinking. The very same mind that gives you these incredible insights can also be the thing that traps you in these mental loops.
And this leads us to the real question here, the one that changes everything we've just talked about. Are you actually smarter than everyone else?
Or are you just thinking differently? And this is the essential shift. What if intelligence isn't about knowing more stuff, but about having a different process? Your mind isn't broken. Your operating system is just different from the one most of the world happens to be running.
So, I want to leave you with this final thought, and it's probably the most important one. If you feel like you're walking alone a lot of the time, it doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. It just means your environment hasn't matched your frequency yet. And understanding that your frequency is real isn't about being arrogant. It's about finally finding your foundation.